Hello, and welcome to another chilling episode of Monsters, Legends, and Conspiracies. I'm your host, Sarah, and today we're diving into one of the most unsettling urban legends of the paranormal world, the black-eyed children. Specifically, we're looking at their eerie appearances right here in Oregon. If you haven't heard of these mysterious entities before, buckle up, because this episode is guaranteed to send shivers down your spine. First things first, let's set the scene. The black-eyed children are a relatively new addition to the paranormal lexicon, first gaining widespread attention in the 1990s. These entities are described as children, usually between the ages of 6 and 16, with pale skin, monotone voices, and, most disturbingly, solid black eyes. No irises, no whites, just pure, inky black. They're known to approach unsuspecting people, often asking for help. Maybe it's a ride, to use your phone, or even to come inside your home. Sounds innocent enough, right? But here's the catch. People who have encountered them report an overwhelming sense of dread and danger. And those who've let them in? Well, their stories rarely end well. Before we dive into Oregon-specific sightings, let's briefly explore the origins of the black-eyed children legend. It all started with a journalist named Brian Bethel in 1996. Brian wrote about an encounter he had in Abilene, Texas, where two children approached his car late at night, asking for a ride. He was immediately struck by their strange, old-fashioned way of speaking, and the intense fear he felt in their presence. When he noticed their pitch-black eyes, he sped off without looking back. This account spread like wildfire, and since then, similar stories have popped up across the globe, including, you guessed it, right here in Oregon. Now, skeptics argue that these stories are nothing more than urban legends, fueled by the internet and overactive imaginations. But the sheer number of encounters, combined with the eerie consistency of the descriptions, makes you wonder, could there be something more to this phenomenon? Oregon is no stranger to these strange happenings. From Bigfoot sightings to haunted lighthouses, our state seems to be a magnet for the paranormal. And the black-eyed children? They've made their mark here too. One of the most well-documented sightings occurred in 2014 near Eugene. A man named Greg was driving home late at night when he saw two children standing by the side of a desolate road. They appeared to be about 10 years old, wearing outdated clothing. Thinking they may be lost or in trouble, Greg pulled over. But as the children approached his car, he was overcome with a sense of terror. Greg later recounted that one of the children asked to use his phone. When he hesitated, they became more insistent, their voices eerily calm. That's when he noticed their eyes. Greg said it felt like looking into a void, completely black and lifeless. Panicked, he sped away, leaving the children behind. When he looked in his rearview mirror, they were gone. And it's not just isolated rural roads. In 2019, a woman in Portland reported an encounter with a black-eyed child outside her apartment building. She described hearing a knock on her door late at night. When she peered through the peephole, she saw a young boy, around 8 years old, standing in the hallway. He asked to come in, claiming he was lost. But something about his monotone voice and the fact that he never looked directly at the peephole unnerved her. She ignored him, but he continued knocking for what felt like hours before disappearing. So, who or what are the black-eyed children? There are plenty of theories, and none of them are particularly comforting. Some believe they're extraterrestrial beings, pointing to their otherworldly appearance and odd behavior. Others think they might be demons or malevolent spirits, citing the overwhelming fear they instill in those who encounter them. Then, there's the theory that they're part of some government experiment, though that one feels more at home in the realm of conspiracy than the supernatural. Interestingly, some researchers have drawn connections between black-eyed children and folklore. In many cultures, there are legends of malevolent beings that disguise themselves as children to gain access to human homes. In Celtic folklore, for example, there are tales of changelings, fairy children left in place of human babies. Could the black-eyed children be a modern manifestation of these ancient myths? And then there's the psychological angle. Some skeptics argue that these encounters can be explained by sleep paralysis or hypnagogic hallucinations. Those vivid, dreamlike experiences that occur when you're falling asleep or waking up. But how do you explain multiple people experiencing similar phenomena in completely different settings? So, what should you do if you find yourself face to face with a black-eyed child? The consensus among those who've experienced these encounters is simple. Don't engage. Do not invite them in. Do not offer assistance. And if you can, leave the area immediately. Many believe that allowing them into your home or car grants them some kind of power over you. And if you're thinking, well, I'll just snap a picture for proof. Good luck. For reasons no one fully understands, electronic devices tend to malfunction in their presence. Cameras won't focus, phones die unexpectedly, and even car engines stall. That brings us to the end of today's episode. Whether you believe the black-eyed children are urban legend, extraterrestrial, or something else entirely, one thing is clear. Their stories have a way of sticking with you. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends. And if you've ever had an encounter with the black-eyed children or any other paranormal phenomenon, I want to hear about it. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and above all, stay safe. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.